So Charles Oliveira finishes Justin Gaethje inside the first round, and I'm so excited. I'm over the moon. Charles Oliveira has an amazing performance in an amazing back-and-forth fight in the main event, and then my excitement dies down, and I'm sat here in my shed, and I'm thinking of Tony Ferguson. Because Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson also took place at UFC 274, and I need to give my reaction to it because... hold on, I'm crying, brother. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that comment everywhere, and I feel that pain. As much as I feel bad for Tony Ferguson, and we'll get into how bad I feel for him at the end of this video, or in the midway point of this video, Michael Chandler scored one of the best KOs in the history of the UFC on Tony Ferguson, and then afterwards, as if that wasn't enough, cut one of the best promos of all time in the sport on the microphone and called out basically any big name he possibly could. Those in the main event and one other guy, Conor McGregor, as well. But I'm feeling for Tony Ferguson. And I'm excited for Oliveira versus Gaethje, and it's over, and I'm excited for Charles Oliveira. I'm hyped up. The co-main nearly put me to sleep. But speaking of being put to sleep, I mean, it doesn't get worse than that, man. Like, I was hoping that maybe Chandler would drop him, Tony Ferguson would try and recover, the referee would step in and it would be like a TKO win, but a brutal knockdown started by Michael Chandler. But that was the worst play of emotions I've ever felt in my life. You know why? I thought Tony Ferguson was about to come back and win against Michael Chandler. He was looking good in that first round. He was kicking Chandler. He was punching Chandler well. It wasn't dominant for Michael Chandler. He was kind of getting beaten up on the feet in the first round by Tony Ferguson. Ferguson dropped him, fair play off balance, but still technically dropped Michael Chandler in the first round. Rocked him with a big punch outside of that as well. Michael Chandler shot in for a takedown and did some good ground and pound, but on the ground, Tony Ferguson was slicing him open with elbows. He had an armbar attempt. I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I've picked this completely wrong. This is Tony Ferguson's type of fight, and Tony Ferguson might well come back and win this fight against Michael Chandler. This is the type of fight that Tony Ferguson loves. He's going to come back, maybe. And he gets up at the end of the second round, or the end of the first round, and he's smiling, and he's happy, he's feeling himself, he's landed elbows off the back, he's sliced open Chandler, he's messed up Chandler's eye, he's dropped him in the first round, he was out striking him on the feet. And he's happy. And he's feeling himself. And he's excited. And he hits Chandler on the arse and he goes, yeah, I'm in it. I'm back. Second round begins and Michael Chandler punts Tony Ferguson's face off. And flatline KOs him in the second round. Out cold for a couple of minutes. It wasn't just to go out cold and then recover immediately. Like, wait, what happened? It was like a worrying, oh my God, this is a life-changing KO. This is a career-changing KO. As if Tony Ferguson's career wasn't already on a downward spiral. This was damn near a career ender, man. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what Tony Ferguson's going to do. And he's going to have a lot of time off. And I know he's not going to quit from this. Like, he's going to come back. And that's almost the worst part. Of course he wouldn't. Why would you leave the sport after getting KO'd like that when you're doing so good? You've almost proved it to yourself and the fans. I had him winning that first round. You've almost proved it to yourself and the fans. I'm back. I'm back on form. I'm beating Michael. Michael Chandler was whooping up Oliveira in the first round. And Tony Ferguson's out there doing great against him. I gave him the first round against Michael Chandler. The first round against Michael Chandler. I gave Michael Chandler the first round against Gaethje. And Ferguson's out there beating him in the first round, although he did take some damage on the ground. He still beat him. He dropped him. And then it's all over. And I love the KO from Michael Chandler. And I'm so sad about it, man. But I'm so happy. It was a great KO. One of the greatest KOs of all time. Arguably, in my opinion, the best front kick KO in UFC history. There have been some front kick KOs in the sport. No one's gone out from him like that. No one's gone out from him like that. The only one I can think is anywhere close is Lyoto Machida versus Vitor Belfort. Now, people are going to mention Anderson Silva, and that's like the #1 KO of all time. It's not. It really isn't. Fair play, Anderson Silva did it, but it was a front kick. Vitor was still with it. Both of them were Vitor. Jesus Christ, poor Vitor. Either way, Anderson goes on top of him, finishes him off by ground and pound afterwards. This was a clean walk-off, front kick, face plant KO. Okay? Machida did Randy Couture, followed up afterwards as well with a jumping front kick. He did Vitor Belfort with one, and Vitor Belfort went backwards out cold, and he did the bow, and it was amazing. Face plants are way better, man. And he put him out badly, and did his celebration. 5 front flips or back flips in a row, sorry. Called out Conor McGregor on the microphone. I'm so distraught, man. It's worse than a first round KO. It's worse, because there was a glimmer of, he's back. Makhachev even tweeted, El Kukui is back. And then afterwards, he's like, oh God, no. He's not. He's done. He's arguably done. And I know they're not going to have him be done here. And that's sad because he's going to keep coming back. And he arguably could still compete. But now that chin has been wiped out. That's the thing he had going for him. Well, he got out-grappled by Dariush. Oh, well, Oliveira out-grappled him, but he didn't tap. He's the only guy who Oliveira didn't finish at lightweight. And he had all these things going for him. And no one's ever KO'd him, though. That's one thing you can't say. You can't say his chin's gone. Now that's another thing added in. His chin might genuinely be gone after that. That is a chin-changing fight. That's a Chuck Liddell taking so many clean punches in his career and taking them well, and then getting chinned out cold and he can't take a shot the same way again. That's that type of KO. That happens to people's careers. When you see these fighters who have granite chins, and all of a sudden it switches off, that's going to happen to Holloway eventually if he keeps taking the shots that he's taking. And I think it's going to maybe happen in the Volk trilogy fight, with the amount of power Volk's packing in his punches after that Korean zombie performance. That's the kind of thing that happens. When you get flatlined like that, it changes the way you think about taking shots, the way you take them anyway, the way you fight beforehand because you're just worried about it. Like Ferguson had in his mind going into that fight, well, at least I'll take the shots. Now I don't know about that, man. And I'd rather him have just got KO'd in the first round. I said Chandler would do it in the first round. And I'd rather that have happened, because then you could say, okay, he's done. Let him go on. But there's going to be a glimmer to him and his fans and me, myself, like, he was doing good. He was back. If he gets a 5-rounder, like, and doesn't get KO'd, who knows? Front kick to the face. Perfectly timed. Face plant. He's out for minutes on end. It was just horrific. And first of all, can I mention this? UFC in future. When someone really badly gets KO'd like that, don't show Poddy. Don't show Paddy and Molly in the crowd. Don't show Aljamain Sterling on camera afterwards. When Tony Ferguson's career gets taken in front of us, and he's out cold, lifeless on the canvas, and we don't know if he's going to be okay, don't start panning to the scousers in the fucking crowd. Don't do that stuff, man. It's so annoying when they, like, it's like there's no... And then after that, oh my God, after that. Time to induct DC into the Hall of Fame. Fair enough, he deserves it, but timing, guys. You should have done that in the middle of Rose versus fucking Esparza too. Do it in the middle of round 3. Just start playing the Hall of Fame induction while they're fighting, because nothing was going on. Don't, after we've just been crushed by Ferguson being KO'd, start going, oh, it's amazing, guys. DC's being inducted to... It was such bad timing. Play it in the middle of Rose's title fight, because it was terrible. Tony Ferguson gets put out cold by Michael Chandler. And I think the only possible fight next that could make any sense in the world after 5 months off at least, but not too much time off. Apparently they're going to give him another chance. After 5 months off, Tony Ferguson versus Dan Hooker. He looked good. Main event of a fight night. Tony swan song. Does he stay or does he go? Main event of a fight night. Revolve the event around him. He needs 5 rounds. I know he just got finished, but like, stop giving him this limitation of 3-rounders. His cardio is one of his best weapons as well, and that hasn't left him yet, I doubt. Him versus Dan Hooker. 5-round main event of a fight night. They'll sell it well. Dan Hooker's a good personality. I know he's on a slide as well. Winner stays. Loser goes. You can only keep one of them. And just play that fight out. 5 rounds. And also Dan Hooker's not much of a KO guy. His cardio's not the best going into the 5 rounds. After the second round, he really does gas out quite a bit. I could see Ferguson winning that one. I don't see him getting subbed by Dan Hooker. He might get KO'd now, but like, if you asked me that before the Chandler fight, is Dan Hooker going to KO Tony Ferguson? No way is he going to KO Tony Ferguson. I'd love to see that matchup. Even like a Tony Ferguson-Donald Cerrone who didn't compete at the event because he was ill. These are the matchups I want to see now. No power punches. The Chandler fight was an execution, organised. Like, get rid of him, let's have Chandler move forward. And I saw it coming, and in the middle of the fight, there was a glimmer of hope, and then boom, he's done, he's out. I'm so harmed by this, man. It's over. He's not going to compete at the top level ever again. If he won this one, he'd be number 6, number 5. And it looked like it might have been going that way. And Chandler gets the KO. Great for him. And let's talk about Chandler's call-out. You know, he called out Conor McGregor. Amazing call-out. Called out the guys in the main event. He's not going to get that fight, let's be real. I mean, you're number 4 in the world maybe now. So you arguably are in the running a little bit. But you're on a 1-fight win streak. So that ain't going to happen. Although Gaethje was. But never mind. Chandler's not going to get a title shot. So let's see him versus Conor McGregor next. Or, I guess they could do Oliveira and McGregor, which they're going to if both sides agree to it. But, Chandler versus McGregor at 170, I mean, it's hard to talk about Chandler's win because all I'm thinking about is Tony's loss. That's all and I'm also worried, and I don't want to pile on with this, he's not the most stable, and Ferguson was, this is like a, this could go really wrong in his life. Ferguson was throwing holy water at his wife and calling her a witch and punching holes in the wall and making his wife and daughter have to flee the house and call the police on him before this loss streak, before his KO losses. And when you get KO'd like that, it accelerates some things that are already going wrong with your brain. And we get a lot of stories about NFL players, fighters, doing unspeakable things and going to jail and doing very unspeakable things. And I'm worried on that behalf, because if that's how he was before, what happens after this KO, where you've really been shattered, your whole life has been taken apart, your chin's gone, you got put out cold, your brain will never recover, and this is just like almost an omen to himself when he was asking for insurance. And I will say this, fair play, you don't maybe deserve life insurance or like an insurance policy for life after fighting if you just come into the UFC for a couple of fights and lose. When you've done the amount that Tony Ferguson has done, and you've been in the sport for a decade, and taken the shots he's taken, and taken the damage that he's taken for the sport, you kind of need a bit of insurance moving forward, I think, just to keep him stable. Now, he's going to make good money moving forward in his own life. Like, I reckon he's going to start opening his own gym. Like, Tony Ferguson's jiu-jitsu class, there are going to be people that line up to go there. He's not going to be broke. But I need him to have some kind of medical insurance for life almost after this one, because it's worrying. They're going to give him another chance. It will be against Dan Hooker. Chandler might fight McGregor. I should be talking more about Chandler's win, but like I just can't bring myself to it. I'm worried for Tony Ferguson, man. I'm really worried for Tony Ferguson. It's bad. It's a bad case. And he's out for a while and I'm worried. Like, is he going to even get back up here? He's been out for a few minutes now. And then Mojahead's going to make it. I know Mojahead gets... Like, there's certain people that... Mojahead's going to put him in the shadow realm. And it's going to be ha-ha. But it's not ha-ha sometimes, man. With these fighters and their lives that are on... Like, Mojahead's going to put him in the shadow realm. And it's not funny sometimes. Like... There are memes to be made when Johnny Walker gets put down like a Looney Tunes character. But with Ferguson, it's different. On the slide that he's on, with the mental health that he has, and then it's just going to be a tough few weeks for him, and I'm worried, and we'll see how it goes from here. Great KO from Michael Chandler. One of the best KOs of all time. Best KO of the year so far, 100%. Best call out of the year as well. Great microphone moment. Like and subscribe. I'll see you later. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. Hold on, I'm crying, brother. See you later.